Hey, this is Ramon Ray with Smart Hustle and the Small Business Festival in Austin, Texas. I'm with Justin McCullough of Capital One Spark Business. Justin, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a great event.
And Justin, tell us about your role at Capital One, and for the few people in the world who don't know about your card, tell us about what the card's all about with Capital One.
Yeah, you bet. So I'm with Capital One Spark Business, and we're here because we're passionate about small business, right? And so we're enjoying the festivities with everyone else. And what I do, honestly, is I take care of our domain, sparkpay.com, and the small business products at capitalone.com. And my major focus really is our commerce products. So these are the parts of our small business portfolio that help entrepreneurs actually transact sales. So like how they process credit cards, their payment terminal to swipe at the register.
How they get their money.
This is how they, yeah. That's right, and a mobile reader and a digital register and all that kind of stuff. So that is sort of my little corner of the world. And stuff outside of that that's still in Spark Business is like our 401k, for example, and checking and our savings product. And of course, everybody knows about Spark Card.
Sure, yeah. And Capital One is a large bank, have a lot of offerings for a lot of different types of customers. Sure. Let's focus on the Spark Business, that brand, that card, that domain. Yeah. What is that all about? Just summarize that. Why is that so special for Capital One? Well, and for small businesses, more importantly, for the entrepreneurs who use it.
Absolutely. So the small business owner interacts really well with Spark Business because we understand that there's a journey, right? And from startup to a very mature business, there's different needs along the way. And so we look at everything through a customer lens. And so our product teams and our design teams and our marketing teams, all of us are talking to the customer about where they are in their journey. And we want to be where they are as a part of that, right? So obviously the simple things that all small business owners need with, financial management around credit card, right? Having a checking account, savings account, but also, 50% of small business owners are actually looking to have some sort of a 401k plan, and they don't know how to implement it. And so about 10% actually do. And so that's one of the reasons, for example, when we have 401k as a part of our portfolio for small business owners, that's a little longer in the journey, right? And so the way we look at it is small business is really oriented to our products in a delightful way because we try to meet them where they are. Yeah.
Justin, I am in no way, if you look at Wikipedia under like financial guru, I'm like away from it, like not there, like I'm the opposite. However far away you can get from finances, you can.
Yeah.
What do you tell small business owners and entrepreneurs like me who are not financially astute or financially literate? I feel a bit bad about it. I don't, taxes, and it's confusing. Yeah. Anything that you tell them, how to start, how they can be a bit more financially literate, because I don't want to be a financial guru. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Right. But how can I start? And then two, any words of advice for those of us, we want to grow our businesses, we want to run our businesses, but numbers is hard for a lot of us.
Yeah, so that's actually not uncommon at all, right? So one of the things that we have as a resource is businessadvising.org. We're partnered with that to help.
Businessadvising.org.
Okay. That's right. And so that's an information hub, and that's a very helpful place to go for that. We also have Spark Business IQ, which is also another content repository where we're helping small business owners. But I got to tell you, it's a journey, right? People learn about their financial management over time, right? As they bump up against what they need. Some people really try to leverage personal finances before they move into small business finances.
I started there.
That's right. And so, it's different for everybody, but I would say it's a serious matter. It's something that you want to invest in and you want to get comfortable with, right? And so talking to somebody, talking to your banker, talking to somebody you trust that has already gone a little further in that journey to help point the way is a great place. And you can come and visit us at Capital One and we can help you with that journey as well.
And I do want to underline that. I think that even though I kind of joked with it, that's how I roll. I like to have fun, but it is deadly serious. I mean, I took some classes and had my CFO and my accountant teach me. I took some, just on the phone, some screencasts or webinars, okay, how do I read a profit and loss? How do I do my own profit and loss? Because I want to take it seriously. You can, what do they say, all the shows we watch, you can be selling an item and losing money. Right. Things like that, I think, am I right, can happen if you're not financially aware.
That's right. Yeah, and so one of the things I like to talk about is just the importance of KPIs, right? And so we talk about a P&L or a balance sheet, and that sounds really financial, right? And it's an important part of the business. But having strong KPIs around cash flow, what your P&L is, what your profitability is, what your total expenditure are, all those can be really basic numbers that you can match in a spreadsheet. But ultimately, whenever you're managing your money, you want to make sure more's coming in than's going out, right?
Please,
and when that doesn't happen, you can look to a trusted partner like us to help with some of the lending and SBA loan or whatever else.
So it doesn't have to be important, but I think what I'm hearing you say also start simple. KPIs, key performance indicators, know at least what is the pillars of your business. What are the key levers? 2, 3, 4, doesn't have to be 50, but a few that make it work. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurs are passionate, right? So they're chasing their dream and they're trying to make it a reality. And sometimes they leave the checkbook behind, right? And we want to make sure that there's enough discipline there to not be so far along chasing the dream that you've left some important variables on the table. And part of your money management is one of those variables, right? So
My favorite part, we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, the steal from Justin moment. So you're a marketer, Justin. You do this day in and day out. For a large company, you have large resources. Talking to the small business owner here who has a $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 business, what are some things we can steal? What are some things we can learn from you that you're doing? Hey, Ramon, here's how we do it, but the principle might be the same. Anything that come to you, some campaigns or things you've done that you can say, and here's how a smaller business could do. Share some of that with us.
You saw Mythbusters, right?
Yeah.
The guys on TV, and they're always like taking a myth and breaking it, right? Well, one of the myths is Capital One is so big that it's this mega company, right? Which is very true. We're a big brand. Most people know who Capital One is. But Spark Business itself is only 6 years old. And we're filled with entrepreneurs, just like the guys that are listening to this. And so we have a small band of people who are doing entrepreneurial things inside of our organization, right? So our product team is talking to the customer. Our design team is talking to the customer. So we're talking to the customer, right? We're doing customer things just like small business owners do, right?
So that's one thing right there.
That is
you
one
guys
thing,
have
right?
keep your ear right to the ground. You
Got
want
to
to know
stay
what
with the
they're
customer.
saying.
That's right. Because and the only way we can meet them on their journey is if we actually know what their journey looks like, right? And I think that's a key. Like if I can just share, like the buyer's journey or the customer journey or whatever, whoever it is that's in your audience that you want to connect to and dedicate to, you want to be a part of every one of those steps. And we've done that in our business, right? And so I think that as small business owners are thinking about what's right for them, we're doing the same thing. What's right for our customer? And we're helping with them those things. So that would be point number 2. And I think the third point is get a mentor. Get somebody that you can trust, and that doesn't have to be a mentor in our organization, even though we have businessadvising.org, which is a mentor platform. We also, though, whether it's self-help, reading books, taking courses, like don't ever stop investing in yourself. Because guess what? That's what we're doing. We're doing that too, and it's not a trick, it's not a mystery. It doesn't matter how big your organization is, you need to invest in yourself.
Yeah. Another thing that comes to mind when I think about Spark Business is innovation. Again, these are my words, not yours. I don't work for you all, but this is what I'm seeing, what I'm reading as one who watches what you all do. It seems like you guys like to innovate. And I wouldn't say, test and risk for the sake of it. You're a bank, so I know you treat that very seriously. But it seems like you like to innovate. You like to try new things. And I know there's some things you guys actually launched as we're speaking today. I think it was today or yesterday. But can you talk about that innovation, your own, but then let's parlay that to small businesses, entrepreneurs. They need to innovate. I think they can't be afraid of a little bit, let's try this after we listened, and let's move on.
That's right.
How does that work?
Well, innovation is a discipline, right? And it's something that you sort of navigate through methodically. And we have professional disciplines around innovation, but more importantly, we have products that come out of customer need, right? And that's where the real innovation comes from. One of the new things that have recently come about and that you were mentioning is our cafe concept, right? And we think that's a great example of looking at the world of our customer and seeing what it is that they really care about and meeting them where they are. And so in that format, they're being able to experience a bank in a totally different way. They're being able to come and relax, have a cup of coffee. Maybe they're doing an interview with a new associate that they're talking about bringing on board, or possibly you're going to do a deal-making thing, sign a contract right there. And so these are becoming spaces where people can go and spend a lot of time, and it's way more than just a financial interaction. Instead, it's a part of their life, right? And so that cafe concept is really special, and we think that's an example of what you're seeing in the industry around bank being reimagined and different transformation initiatives, and that's our little part of the world of what we think is innovative to meet the customer need.
I love it. That's important. And I think that when you're innovating, any advice that you have, I know that for myself, as my innovating goes, I often say, let me try it, let me measure it, let me see if it's working, and then keep tweaking it, because I think you won't get it right the first time. And I think many people are afraid, Justin, to, one, they're afraid to start, and then 2, what if I fail, or what if it doesn't go right? So I think you have to have some risk tolerance and be able to tweak and keep going, especially if you know what you're doing is right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we're no different, right? I mean, we're always looking at what our customers are saying about what we're doing in the market, and we're responding to that in the manner that's best for us and our customers on that journey. And so I would say that for small business owners, though, as they're thinking about that, you can't be afraid to do something, right? That analysis paralysis, I think is what they call it, right? And especially for our small business customers who are in startup phase, like there's a whole lot you're exploring. You're looking for where the edges are that you can have a tipping point. And you can only do that if you're willing to iterate and try again and try again and try again.
Sure. And kudos to Capital One. I mean, I think when I think of Spark Business and other things that you are doing, I think it shows that you are listening. It shows that you are willing to be innovative, because there's a lot of banks out there, Justin, you know that, I know that, banks, all big brands all over that offer the same checking and savings, things like this. But I think it's for the next level is, how can we be different? How can we listen better? How can we serve better, especially in the entrepreneurial space, which goes back to your cafes. We're in a mobile economy. hey, listen, my office is my backpack. And so I think kudos to you all for doing that.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, one of the things that we're very committed to is no contracts and low fees and things like that. And that's something that's really important to us because we think the small business owner gets tripped up in some of that. And we want to make sure that we're, Capital One is on top of that, making it easy, simplifying it as much as possible. And then, we heard a lot of stories about people trying to build their business on their credit cards, and that's why we have unlimited cash back on those credit cards. And so I think we're very small business friendly in the way we approach our customers and the things that they tell us and how we can work with that. And I think to your point, like, I'm glad to be here. Right, Capital One Spark Business is glad to be a part of this. We've been here for now 2 years. This is the second year, and we were a part of the first year. And so we've been really happy with what's going on with Small Business Festival.
Yeah, and an air clap to the Small Business Festival team. We're happy to be here at Small Business Festival. So it's been great. One more time, tell us who you are, who you work with, as we close out the show.
Yeah, great. So I'm Justin McCullough with Capital One Spark Business, and we're at Small Business Festival.
And I'm Ramon Ray with Smart Hustle and Small Business Festival.